So, welcome everyone to Corporate Bhagavad Gita. We were reading from the introduction. So, let's continue with that. We first chant the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shuktapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vidhamsha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Nusate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavanusuti Pramami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
We can't see the screen.
Oh, sorry, I didn't share the screen. Sorry. Now, that's what I was saying. I didn't share the screen. Okay. Mm, mm, okay. Wow. Wow. Someone joined, right? Okay. Okay. I hope you can see the screen.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay. So we were reading from the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. It's it is the introduction part, but it summarizes the whole Bhagavad Gita. It is again summarizes the whole Bhagavad Gita. So so yeah, we were here after hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Uh, can someone volunteer to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. After hearing Bhagavad Gita from Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna accepted Krishna as Parama Brahma, the Supreme Brahman. Every living being is a Brahman, but Supreme living being or a Supreme Personality of Godhead is a Supreme Brahman. Param Dhamma means that he is a supreme rest or abode of everything. Pavitram means that he is pure, untainted by material contamination. Purusham means that he is a supreme enjoyer. Sas,
Shashvatam.
Shashvatam, eternal, Divyam, transcendental, Adi Devam, original supreme personality of Godhead, Ajam, the unborn, Vibhum, the greatest. Now one may think that because Krishna was a friend of Arjuna, Arjuna was telling him all this by the way of flattery. But Arjuna, just to drive out this kind of doubt from the minds of readers of Bhagavad Gita, substantiates this praises in the next verse when he says that Krishna is accepted as the supreme personality of Godhead not only by himself but by authorities like Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasadeva. These are the great personality who distribute the Vedic knowledge as it is accepted by them. all acharyas. Therefore, Arjuna tells Krishna that he accepts whatever he says to be completely perfect. Sarvam itad
Sarvam
ratam
itat ritam manye.
sarvam itad ratam manye. I accept everything you say to be true. Arjuna also says that personality of the Lord is very difficult to understand and that he cannot be known every even by the great demigods. This means that the Lord cannot even be known by the personalities greater than human beings. So how can a human being understand Lord Sri Krishna without becoming his devotee?
Yeah. So in the, I think in the 11th chapter, Arjuna glorifies Krishna as Param Dhama, Paramam, Pavitram, Shashwatam, Divyam, Adi Devam, Ajam Vibhum. So he says, Krishna, you are the greatest, and you are telling me this now. But then he also says that it was Narada, Asila, Deva, Vyasadeva. These are very great sages, saints, sadhus, acharyas of the past. I mean, they are present also. And they were also telling me that you are the supreme, but now you are telling me. So he is substantiating. It is not like only Arjuna said and then everyone believed. No, even great sages also um, glorified Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. So who can understand Krishna? Krishna multiple times he says only devotees can understand. Even the great devatas they cannot understand me because they are coming from me. They cannot understand me. Only devotees can understand. Therefore, Prabhupada writes here that therefore Bhagavad Gita should be taken in the spirit of devotion. One should not think that he is equal to Krishna, nor he should think that Krishna is an ordinary personality or even a great personality or a historical personality. Don't think like Krishna is just a historical person. Some modern uh, scholars or they think oh Krishna was just a historical person. No, Sri Krishna is the supreme personality of God. She is Bhagwan Uvacha. So according to the statements of Bhagavad Gita or the statements of Arjuna, the person who is trying to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should at least theoretically accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. Now that we have studied the whole Bhagavad Gita, at least theoretically we should accept Krishna as the supreme personality of God. And with that submissive spirit, we can understand Bhagavad Gita further. And we have to read Bhagavad Gita in that submissive spirit that Krishna is the supreme. Then there is then whatever is difficulty in Bhagavad Gita will be easy to understand. Otherwise, it will remain a mystery. So why it remains a mystery for others? Because they don't accept Krishna as a supreme. It is not that they have to accept before. No, within Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says. This is one verse. Krishna says, uh, Sarvasya Chaham Hriday Sannavishtam. That is there. Another verse. Everything comes from me. There's a very nice verse. Everything comes from me. Emanates from me. Hopefully. Okay. I should have a better translation. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matah sarvam pravarte. Aham means me. Sarva means everything. Prabhava means the source of generation. So everything comes from me. Mattam sarvam pravartate. mattam sarvam pravartate. Mattam, matvam, mat, matah sarvam pravartate. Okay, matah sarvam pravartate. Everything emanates from me. I am the source of everything. Those who know, they do bhajante ma. Bhajante means devotional service to me. So Krishna also says multiple times, he says, hmm, I am that supreme and all that. And in 15th chapter he says, let's see. Hmm. In the 15th chapter he says that there are two living entities which are fallible, infallible. Then there is a third one which is a super soul, Paramatma. Okay? He is entering the three worlds and maintaining them. And I am that supreme. I am transcendental beyond the fallible, infallible, because I am the greatest. I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. See, it's very clear. Yasma sharam aditoham aksharaadapi chottama atosmi loke vedetsa. Atosmi. I am in the whole of the Vedas. Pratitaha, celebrated as that Purusha Uttama. Purusha Uttama, as that supreme person. So Krishna multiple times he says, I am that supreme, I am that supreme. Arjuna also says, you are the supreme, you are the supreme. And Asitila Devala Vyasa, they also said that. Not just me, but even the great sages are said. These are great authorities on the Vedic scriptures. Any question anyone wants to ask at this point? Any question? Anyone has? Or comment? Hmm? Okay.
No,
No? You had somewhere?
no, I said nothing. No questions.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay. So, can someone read from this? Just what is Bhagavad Gita? Someone?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just what is the Bhagavad Gita? The purpose of Bhagavad Gita is deliver the mankind from nescience of material existence. Every man is in the difficulty in so many ways. As Arjuna also was in the difficulty in having to fight the battle of Kurukshetra. Arjuna surrendered unto Sri Krishna and consequently this Bhagavad Gita was spoken. Not only Arjuna but every one of us is full of anxiety because of this material existence. Our very existence in atmosphere of non-existence. Actually, we are not meant to be threatened by non-existence. Our existence is eternal, but somehow or other we are put into asat. Asat refers to that which did not exist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, purpose of Bhagavad Gita is what? To deliver mankind from nations. Nations means darkness of material existence. What problem Arjuna had? He didn't want to fight. So, whole Bhagavad Gita was spoken to tell him, you fight as a duty in a detached way and surrender to Supreme, offer your results to him. And that Supreme is Krishna himself. Okay. So, okay, someone joined. Hmm. So how many of you feel similar way like Arjuna? We are full of anxieties. Every day we are facing anxiety. How many of you feel like that? Arjuna also felt this full of anxiety. Anyone typed? Okay, okay. Okay. Raised hands. Okay. Like, okay. Okay. You can speak also. We are just four people. You can always speak. No problem. So we are always in full of anxiety, right? So this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is meant for us also. Hmm? Why we are in anxiety? It's a very nice statement is written here. Our very existence is in the atmosphere of non-existence. We'll spend time on this one statement. Our existence is in the atmosphere of non-existence. Our very existence. Can you explain me this statement? What is the statement trying to say to you? Our very existence is in the atmosphere of non-existence. I'll take the other statements also. Hmm. Can you tell me how are we in a non-existence atmosphere? In the asat atmosphere, how are we like that? Is this bothering us? This is a very deep statement. Okay, we need to spend some time thinking about this. Is this bothering us? Our situation, is it bothering us a lot? Yes, anyone? Anyone? Are you fully happy in this world? Where does the fish live? Anyone? Where does the fish live?
Even the water bodies.
In the water, no? When it is out of water, is it happy?
No.
It's almost dying, right? It's almost dying. Fish out of water. Now connect this statement, fish out of water, with this statement. Our very existence is in the atmosphere of non-existence. What does it tell you? It's like a situation of fish outside of water, right? What kind of anxieties does this situation gives to us? Hmm? What kind of anxiety does this situation gives to us? Let's say you go to a place, and after 5 minutes in that place you suddenly understand this place is not meant for me. Then how you start feeling? Yeah.
How to come out from that place?
Yeah,
Yes.
you want to come out of that place, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
that
Prabhu.
anxiety is there, that fear is there, botheration is there, right? Fear is there, botheration is there, right? That feeling of what? Feeling of death is there, right? Feeling of death is there, or what you say, Gutan, or feeling of exhausted, or that kind of feeling is there, right? So in this material world that we are living is not our home. Okay, just like outside the water is not the home for the fish, this material world is not our home. How can you prove me? How can you prove that this is not our home? Give me one example. Let's say you go to your office. Is office your home?
No, no, definitely.
No, right? Office is not our home. Why? What is the problem in office? You can stay there, live there, but still sit so
Freedom is
comfortable.
not there.
Huh?
Freedom is not there.
Freedom is not there. Okay,
Not there.
freedom. What else
Really.
more? If I
It's
put
temp-
you in a stadium, freedom is there. Is still
it's
that your home?
No problem.
it's
There is
temporary.
also public place.
Yes, Mataji, you were telling one thing.
It's temporary. We don't know when we have to leave this. It's not permanent. They are not there for all the time.
Yes, it's a temporary place. Hmm? And that place will be taken away from us at the time of death, right? And then we don't have our loved ones also at that place, right? Our loved ones, father, mother, brother, sister, husband, wife, children are there in the office? No, right? They're not in the office, they're at home. So we want to reach where our family is, isn't it? Isn't it? That's where we feel safe. So in this material world, it is temporary, there is death. Whatever family we have, that is also temporary. So we are looking for something permanent, right? But we are in this material world where things are not permanent, they are temporary. So we have so many anxieties. Now you're getting why we have so many anxieties? Because let me put it simple. When you reach home, do you have anxiety? Not really, right? When you reach home, you're just happy. When you're at office, outside, there is always great anxiety, right? Hmm? So this whole atmosphere is gives us more anxiety. Why? Because it is asat, that which does not exist. How many of you have experienced something called as escape rooms? Have you played this game, escape rooms, or heard about it? Heard about it? Escape rooms is like, they send you into these rooms and they're locked, and there'll be some puzzle or something that you have to solve. Then you'll get the key, you can come out. So like that, we are in this material world. We have to find the key and then we have to come out. That key is Bhagavad Gita. That key is the bhakti to Krishna. Now you understand? What is this escape room? This escape room is material world, right? The key is bhakti to Krishna, right? Then who's the controller of this escape room? Durga Devi. She is the controller. Durga means fort. Okay. And who is the controller of Durga Devi? Krishna. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Under my direction, Durga Devi is working. So those who surrender to Krishna in bhakti, they get sarva dharma parityaja mam ekam sharanam vaja aham tam sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami ma sucha. They get what? Moksha. Moksha means to liberate. So the escape room से liberate हो गया. Now you getting? So it's a very small sentence, but it has a very deep meaning. Any question on this? Any question or comment on this 3-4 lines? This is the very basics of spirituality. Why we want to go to self-realization and all that? Because of this thing that we are in a fish outside of water situation. We want to escape from this escape room. Right? Does it make sense now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, same thing Prabhupada is going to explain, but yeah, it's called Brahma Jigyasa. Brahma Jigyasa. This Para Brahma, there is Brahma. Para Brahma is supreme soul. Brahma means eternal. We are all eternal. So that Jigyasa. Jigyasa means to ask about it, inquiry. Inquire about the eternal thing. Why? Because we are in this temporary world, it is giving so much of pain. Therefore, we want to ask, where is the permanent place? Where is the eternal place? If you get fever or cold or cough or flu, what do? The temperature is high, 102, 104, not going away. What do? Do you keep just suffering or what do?
We go to a doctor.
We go to a doctor, right? And we inquire him, why I'm suffering? Give me medicine. This is the thing. Okay, I need someone to read. Someone can volunteer to read. Any other person? Okay, so someone wants to read?
Out of so many human beings who are suffering, there are few who are actually inquiring about their position as to what they are, why they are put into this awkward position, and so on. Unless one is awkward to this position of questioning his suffering, unless he realizes that he doesn't want suffering but rather want to make a solution to all the suffering, then one is not to be considered a perfect human being. Humanity begins when this sort of inquiry is awakened in one's mind. In the Brahma Sutra, this inquiry is called Brahma Jignasa. Atato Brahma Jignasa. Every activity of a human being is to be considered a failure unless he inquires about the nature of the Absolute. Therefore, those who begin to question why they are suffering or where they came from and where they shall go after death are proper students for understanding Bhagavad Gita. The sincere student should also have a firm respect for the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, such a student was Arjuna.
Yeah. So if you want to be a student of spirituality, Atma Sakshatkar, Moksha, Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti, any yoga, Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, we should become a perfect human being by asking these questions. Why I am suffering? What is the solution I am suffering? Why I am put in this suffering? And then when we access the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, hmm, it and have sincere respect towards Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, then the answers, the mystery of Bhagavad Gita um, will be what will be open to us. Okay, will be disclosed to us. So this is very important. Many people say I want to be spiritual and all that, but why? Why you want to be spiritual? No, there's just I want to what? Many people give many different answers, but this is the perfect answer. Hmm? This is the perfect answer. So have this thing. Okay, next. Can someone read? Continue reading. Lord Krishna descends.
God Krishna descends specifically to re-establish the real purpose of life when man forgets that purpose. Even then, out of many, many human beings who awaken, there may be one who actually enters the spirit of understanding his position, or from him, this Bhagavad Gita is spoken. Actually, we're all swallowed by the tigress of nuisance, but the Lord is very merciful upon living entities, especially human beings. To this end, he spoke Bhagavad Gita, making his friend Arjuna his student.
Yeah. See, Arjuna already knew Bhagavad Gita. It is not that he didn't. But he put Arjuna into this suffering and Arjuna became his student. Okay. And then, at the end, he was saying Smriti Labdha. Smriti Labdha means I have regained my memory. When do you say such thing? I regained my memory. Only when you have heard this thing before also. Like if you remember your school days, and in the exam if you are not able to answer a certain question, you leave it blank. Okay. And then when you come outside and you're talking with this friend and then you say, oh, did you attempt that question on so and so topic? And then your friend says, Arey, it is very simple, it is like this, like this, like this. And then you say, oh, I knew this, right? So similarly Arjuna is saying like this, Mitil Labdha. Now I have remembered. So why did Krishna put Arjuna into this situation? Because Krishna is very merciful. And to speak Bhagavad Gita, he needed a reason. And he made Arjuna the reason. Like that. So Acharya has very nicely explained that if a new, um, what to say, if a newly married girl, when she enters a house, okay, now the mother-in-law wants to communicate to her certain things, how this how functions and all that. What are the needs, what are the timings and all that. Hmm. In today's age, we see that the mother-in-law gets in fight with the newly married girl, right? But in the Vedic times, it was not like that. In the Vedic times, the mother-in-law would teach the newly married woman through the help of her daughter. So, if she wanted to communicate to the new girl, the new uh, daughter-in-law, she would tell to the daughter. Not that tell to the daughter to tell the no. She would indicate that to the daughter, and just listening to that, she would understand. The daughter-in-law would understand what is the thing. So even when the daughter is right, she would scold the daughter. Just by scolding the daughter-in-law understood what is the right thing to be done. You're getting? Sometimes parents use this tactic. If they want the younger child to learn something, they will shout the elder child. Isn't it? How many of you have experienced that?
Yes.
Yeah. Then the younger child will automatically understand just by that situation. So we are like the younger child, and Arjuna is like the elder child, and Krishna puts Arjuna into doubt for us to understand. Okay. So if a mother shouts at daughter, she doesn't become so disturbed. But if she shouts at the daughter-in-law, then big hangama happens, right? Isn't it? So, so that's why Krishna chose Arjuna. He could shout at Arjuna. He could chastise Arjuna. If Krishna chastises us, shouts at us, will we accept him? No, right? We won't. We are very happy to see Arjuna's in doubt, but actually, all these doubts are our doubts. Okay. Okay. Continue. Being an associate of Lord Krishna.
Being an associate of Lord Krishna, Arjuna was above all ignorance. But Arjuna was put into ignorance on the battlefield of Kurukshetra just to question Lord Krishna about the problems of life so that the Lord could explain them for the benefit of future generation of human beings and check out the plan of life. The man could accordingly and perfect the mission of human life.
Yeah, go ahead.
The subject of Bhagavad Gita entails the comprehension of five basic truths. First of all, the science of God is explained, and then the constitutional position of the living entities, jivas. There is Ishvara, which means the controller, and there are jivas, the living entities who are controlled. If the living entity says that he is not controlled but he is free, then he is insane. The living being is controlled in every respect, at least in his conditioned life. So, in Bhagavad Gita, the subject matter deals with the Ishvara, the supreme controller, and the Jivas, the controlled living entities. Prakriti, material nature, and the time, the duration of existence of the whole universe, or the manifestation of material nature, and karma, activity, are also discussed. The cosmic manifestation is full of different activities. All living entities are engaged in different activities. From Bhagavad Gita, we must learn that God is, what the living entities are, and what Prakriti is, what the cosmic manifestation is, and how it's controlled by time, and what activities of the living entities are.
Yeah. So, if somebody asks what are the topics in Bhagavad Gita, so these are the main topics, the five. First one is Ishvara, the supreme controller. Second one is Jiva, the controlled. Prakriti, the material nature, time, and the last one is karma. These are the five topics. How does Krishna explain the Ishvara? Everything comes from him. Hmm? He is the control of everything. Whatever your karma is, you should offer it to him, right? Worship him. What does it tell about the Jiva? The Jiva is not the body, but the essence, the spiritual spark, the Atma. It is part and parcel of Krishna. It is taking new bodies according to his karma. Okay, he needs to focus on moksha to get liberated from the cycle of birth and death. What is Prakriti? Prakriti is the material nature which gives three modes: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Then the Jiva takes body within this material world and tries to enjoy, tries to do certain things, try to manipulate the Prakriti, try to manipulate the material nature. And thus he suffers enjoyment and happiness and sadness and all that. What is time? Time, I am destroyer of the three worlds. Must have heard this, right? Time, I am destroyer of the three worlds. That is from Bhagavad Gita. So time is, in a certain period we are given a certain body. Then once the time is up, we are given next body. Hmm? Then this universe has certain time. It will annihilate, it will create, annihilate, create, annihilate. Hmm? So we are going into the cycle of birth and death again and again and again and again and again. Antakale cha mamevo. If at the time of death, if you remember Krishna, there will be moksha. So these are all details of the time. And then karma, three types of karma. Karma, vikarma, akarma. Karma is when you follow what is given in the Shastras. Hmm? Vikarma is when you don't follow that is given in the Shastra. It is illegal. It is punishable. And akarma is you follow what is there in the Shastras, but you have offered it to Krishna, therefore you don't get any result, no reaction for you. In above karma, if you follow what is there in the Shastras, you will get a certain result by which you may go to Swargaloka and you may have better facilities. In Vikarma, because you have gone against the Shastras, the injunction of Shastras, then you will suffer. And akarma is when you do bhakti to Krishna, offer everything to Krishna, do everything for the sake of Krishna, then no reaction to you. That is the state of moksha. Moksha means liberated. Okay. Any question on this? 5 topics. Okay. Out of these basic five basic matters. Can you continue reading?
Out of these five basic subject matters in Bhagavad Gita, it is established that Supreme Godhead or Krishna or the Brahman or the Supreme Controller or Paramatma, you may use whatever name you like, is the greatest of all. The living beings are in quality like the Supreme Controller. For instance, the Lord can control over the universal affairs of material nature, as will be explained in the later chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Material nature is not independent, she is acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord. As Lord Krishna says,
Maya
Maya,
adhyakshena prakriti suete sa characharam.
this material nature is working under the direction
Yeah.
and under my direction. When we see wonderful things happening in the cosmic nature, we should know that behind the cosmic manifestation, there is a controller. Nothing could be manifested without being controlled. It is childish not to consider the controller. For instance, a child may think that an aut- automobile is quite wonderful to be able to run without a horse or the other animal putting it. But a sane man knows the nature of the automobile engineering arrangement. He always knows the behind the machinery there is a man or a driver. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the driver under whose direction everything is working. Now the jivas or the living entities have been accepted by the Lord, as we will note in the later chapters, as his parts and parcels. A particle of gold or is also gold. A drop of water from him drop of water from the ocean is also salty, and similarly, we living entities, being a part and parcel of the Supreme Controller Ishvara or Bhagavan, Lord Sri Krishna, have all qualities of Supreme Lord in a in a minute quality because we are minute Ishvaras, subordinate Vaishwaras. We are trying to control nature as presently we are trying to control space of planets, and tendency to control is there because it is Krishna. But although we have the tendency to lord it over material nature, we should know that we are not the supreme controller. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita.
See, one of the most important point is we can control certain things in this world, right? We can control certain things in this world. That's how we are living in this world. We are controlling automobile. We are controlling certain powers of this world. We are generating uh, what electricity and all this. But are we the supreme controller? Supreme control means are we able to control everything in this world? No. That's a very, very important point to understand. To some extent, we can control, but not to the whole extent. And this is the point of Bhagavad Gita. The reason for this is once we understand that we are not the supreme, then we will question who is the supreme then. And then we will connect with the supreme. That connection with the supreme is called yoga, yuj. Okay. What is material nature? Continue.
What is material nature? This is also explained in Gita as inferior Prakriti, inferior nature. The living entity is explained as the supreme Prakriti. Prakriti is always under control, whether inferior or superior. Prakriti is female and she is controlled by the Lord, just as the activities of a wife are controlled by the husband. Prakriti is always subordinate. predominated by the Lord. Who is the predominator? The living entities and the material nature are both predominated, controlled by the Supreme Lord. According to the Gita, the living entities, although parts and parcel of the Supreme Lord, ought to be considered Prakriti. This is clearly mentioned in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Apareyam itastvanyam
Preyam
prakritim vidhi me.
itastav anyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam.
This material nature is my inferior Prakriti, but beyond this is another Prakriti, Jiva Bhutam, the living entities.
Yeah, go ahead.
Material nature itself is constituted by three qualities: a mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. Above these modes, there is an eternal time, and by an combination of these modes of nature under the control and the purview of eternal time, there are activities which are called karma. These activities are being carried out from time immemorial, and we are suffering or enjoying the fruits of our activities. For instance, suppose I am a businessman and have worked very hard with intelligence and have amassed a great bank balance, then I am an enjoyer. But then say I have lost all my money in business, then I am a sufferer. Similarly, in every field of life, we enjoy the results of our work or we suffer the results. This is called karma.
Yeah. Whatever action we do, we get a particular reaction, and it can either give us happiness or distress. Yes, Ishvara. Continue.
Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, Jiva, the living entity, Prakriti, the nature, Kala, the eternal time, Karma, activity, are all explained in Bhagavad Gita. Out of these five, the Lord, the living entities, the material nature, and the time are eternal. The manifestation of Prakriti may be temporary, but it is not false. Some philosophers say that the manifestation of material nature is false, but according to the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita or according to philosophy of Vaishnavas, this is not so. The manifestation of the world is not accepted as false. It is accepted as real, but temporary. It is linked onto the cloud which moves across the sky or the coming of the raining season which nourishes the grains. As soon as the rainy season is over and as soon as the clouds goes away, all the crops which are nourished by the rain dries up. Similarly, the material manifestation takes place at a certain interval, stays for a while, and then disappears. Such are the working of Prakriti, but this cycle is working eternally. Therefore, Prakriti is eternal. It is not false. The Lord refers to this as my Prakriti. The material nature is separated energy of the Supreme Lord, and similarly, the living entities are also the energy of the Supreme Lord, although they are not separated by eternal but eternally related. So the Lord, the living entities, the material nature, the time are all interrelated and all are eternal. However, the other items, karma is not eternal. The effect of karma may be all interrelated and all are eternal. However, the other, the effect of karma may be very old indeed. We are suffering or enjoying the results of our activities from time immemorial, but we can change the result of our karma, our activity, uh, on our activity. This change depends on the perfection of our knowledge. We are engaged in various activities. Undoubtedly, we do not know what sort of activities we should adopt to gain relief and the action and the reaction of all these activities. But this is also explained in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. So, karma is not eternal. Karma can be changed. Okay? Karma can be changed. And how do we know how to change it? It depends on the perfection of our knowledge. What do you think is what it means by perfection of our knowledge? If somebody asks you, okay, what is the perfection of knowledge? What do you think is perfection of knowledge? Perfection of knowledge is when the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we are well versed in the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Okay? And then when we know from Bhagavad Gita what is to be done, what is not to be done, what sort of activities should we adopt, and what to give up. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. When we are clear about that, then our knowledge is perfect. Then we will do activities which are to be adopted. Hmm? And then we will get rid of karma also. I'll just show you. In the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, um, Krishna gives a very big list of what is knowledge. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of evil of birth, death, old age and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home and rest, even-mindedness, and amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these are declared to be knowledge. Besides this, whatever they may be is ignorance. So when our knowledge is directed towards all these things, the whole big list, out of which the most important one is the unalloyed devotion to me, constant unalloyed devotion to me. If this is done, other things automatically come. Okay, does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, continue. The position of Ishvara.
The position of Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, is the supreme consciousness. The jivas or the living entities, being part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, are also conscious. Both the living entities and the material nature are explained as Prakriti, the energy of the Supreme Lord. But one of the two, the jivas, is conscious. The other Prakriti is not conscious. This is the difference. Therefore, Jiva Prakriti is called as superior because Jiva has consciousness which is similar to the Lord's, and the Lord's is supreme consciousness. However, and one should not claim that the jivas, the living entities, are also supremely conscious. The living beings cannot be supremely conscious at any stage of his perfection. And the theory that he can be so is misleading theory. Consciousness, conscious he may be, but he is not perfectly or supremely conscious.
Okay, what does supremely conscious means? What does consciousness means? I am conscious. Why? You are conscious. How can you prove that? Because you can feel, you can aware of your thoughts, your body, right? Therefore you're conscious. I'm able to be conscious of my body. Am I able to be conscious of your body? No, right? Then what does this supreme consciousness means? Supreme consciousness means to be conscious of all the bodies in this world. All, your, mine, everything. Who has that power? The Paramatma has that power to be supremely conscious of everyone. What I am thinking, what you are thinking, what somebody on the road is thinking, we don't know. We know only about ourselves. But Krishna as a super soul, Paramatma, in everyone's heart, he knows what you are thinking, I am thinking, the person on the road thinking, the animal thinking, right? That is supremely conscious. So we cannot be supremely conscious. We can only be localized conscious. We can only be individually conscious, but not supremely conscious. Now, why this concept is very important? Because there is a misleading theory which is called Mayavad, which tells that Sarva Khalvamidam Brahma. Everything is Brahman. You are also Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. Tattvamasi. You are that. Fine. The misleading part comes to say that I am Para Brahman. We are not Supreme Brahman, okay? We are small Brahman. Let's put it that way. So the misleading theory is to tell that we are supremely conscious. No, but no means can we ever become supremely conscious. We'll always remain conscious of ourselves only. That's it. So we can never become God. That's what it means. Okay, in Mayavad philosophy, they say that if you do meditation, everything, all this tapasya, you can become God. You can merge with God and become God. No. Our understanding, according to Bhagavad Gita, is we can never become God. Even if we merge into Brahman, our individuality will remain. If we do bhakti, we will go to Vaikuntha planets and serve Krishna in one of the five rasas. Our individuality will continue to be. Any question on this Mayavad philosophy or this particular point, please? Any question or comment on this? Yeah. Okay. Okay. We can complete one more paragraph. Let's do this. The distinction between Jiva and Ishvara. Can anyone read?
The distinction between the Jivas and the Ishwaras will be explained in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord is Kshetrajna, conscious, as is the living beings, but the living beings is conscious of particular body, whereas the Lord is conscious of all bodies. Because he lives in the heart of every living being, he is conscious of the psychic movements of particular jivas, which should not forget. We should not forget this. It is also explained that the Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, is the living in everyone's heart as Ishvara, as the controller, and that he is giving direction for the living entities to act as he desires. The living entity forgets what to do. First of all, he makes a determination to act in certain way, and then he is entangled in the action and the reaction of his own karma. After giving up one type of body, he enters to another type of body. As we take off and put on new clothes, as the soul thus migrates, he suffers the action and reaction of the past activities. Their activities can be changed when the living being is in the mode of goodness, insanity, and understands what sort of activities he should adopt. If he does so, then all the actions and reaction of his past activities can be changed. Consequently, karma is not eternal. Therefore, we stated that of the five items, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, time, and karma, four are eternal, whereas karma is not eternal.
So is this point clear? How come karma is not eternal? Because it can change. Hmm? Everything else is eternal. Now, the time in this world is material world time, and in the spiritual world there is spiritual world time. In this time that we experience, is the present is small and the future and the past is huge. But in the spiritual world, the present is huge and the past and the future are small. So it's like that. Ishvara is supremely conscious, Jiva is only individually conscious, Prakriti is temporary, but it's not false. Temporary means it's also changing, but it is eternally there. Hmm? It is eternally changing, but it is there. So it is eternal. But karma has nothing to do with Ishvara. It has nothing to do with Prakriti. It has nothing to do with time. It has to do with Jiva. And Jiva can change karma. And that karma can become zero also for that Jiva. The moment it becomes zero, he becomes moksha, liberation. So therefore, it is not eternal. Okay. So let's open up for some questions or comment. Anyone has any question or comment?
Battery 13%. Connect.
Any question or comment at this point? Anyone? Okay. no one has any questions, so we'll stop here. We'll meet next week.